Hey, welcome back to Chaos Control. I'm Kyle McGraw. I'm here with the Illinois GOP chairman. I'd like to welcome you onto the show. Here's my first question for you. How are the Illinois Republicans dealing with the new 1,998-page healthcare bill? Seems like a very long bill, something that not everyone really understands. I think most senators, representatives, it's so big, they don't know how to respond to it.
I think the response has been that the Republicans today, the leadership, John Boehner, came out with a new plan, a Republican plan for handling the healthcare issue and what we're going to do going forward.
Can you talk a little bit about what that plan may be or what some of the other proposals have been?
Sure. The Democrat plan, it amounts basically to a takeover of 1/6 of our economy. Their healthcare plan does, including a public option plan that they call it. It's basically setting up a government insurance plan to compete with the allegedly to compete with the private insurance companies. The Republican plan, on the other hand, is a series of incremental approaches to solving the health care crisis. The one thing both parties agree on is that there is a problem and we need to reduce costs. The Democrat solution is a big government, I think it's a $1 trillion program, the CBO estimated, versus what the Republicans want to do, which is tort reform, opening up the markets to reduce costs, allow you to buy insurance across state lines. So it's two completely opposite approaches to the problem we both agree is a problem.
Right. I mean, you just said there $1 trillion deficit. I mean, can our economy right now, we're in a recession. I know Obama said that, it's looking up a little bit. Can we really deal with $1 trillion deficit?
No, that's $1 trillion over 10 years. Since he's taken the presidency, our yearly deficit has gone from $400 million to $1.4 trillion. We bailed out GM, we bailed out the financial services industry. I think the Republican position is we need to do something, but we can't do a big government entitlement program at this point. We simply can't afford it.
You just named some major corporations. I know there's the Clash for Clunker program, which was kind of more towards consumers, but what other type of things have been towards the consumer? I mean, a lot of people here are a little worried about that.
Well, the cash for clunkers, basically all it did is move up fourth quarter sales into the third quarter. You'll see those numbers drop next quarter, and even the White House acknowledged that. But what the White House has done, it hasn't been consumer oriented. There's been tax increases. There's been an increase in debt in the deficit. It's basically been just to bail out the special interests, the GM and the unions and the groups that they need to protect for the 2012 election.
Talking about some of the special interest groups, you heard earlier that Obama, they gave the list of everyone who was at the White House. What do you have to say about so much for transparency, not doing normal politics as Obama promised?
Well, it's a partial disclosure and it's fine. And if you think that rewarding campaign contributors by inviting them to the people's house as a reward for contributing to their campaign, that's great. I didn't like it when the Republicans did it. I didn't like it when Bill Clinton did it. I don't like it when President Obama does it. I think that's the people's house. It should be kept that way, and it shouldn't be used as a way to raise campaign money. But I do applaud them for at least partially disclosing who was there, although they were quick to point out that wasn't William Ayers or Michael Jordan or Jeremiah Wright.
Which begs the question who actually it was, but...
Well, it doesn't matter. Honestly, I don't care if you want to have people, that's great, but if they're going to use it as a campaign financing mechanism, I don't care which administration it is, I think it's wrong and they shouldn't do it.
Right. Going back to the health care a little bit, how are the Republicans here in Illinois dealing with health care instead of on a national level? Here in Illinois, I know we're in a deficit as well.
Certainly, and as you know, the Democrat Party here in Illinois has controlled every office for the last 7 years. They've controlled the House and the Senate, so virtually everything that's gone on here in the last 7 years can be attributed to the Democrat Party here in Illinois, and quite frankly, they've done nothing on that issue. They've brought us a lot of corruption. We have an $11 billion two-year deficit. So to answer your question, they've done nothing. And the Republicans have had proposals on how to deal with the second biggest expenditure in the state, which is paying for health care. And none of that's been gotten through because the Democrats have stopped it.
So what are some of the plans for some of the Republicans running?
What the Republicans have advocated, and this is nothing new, it's been for years, is a more managed care approach to reduce costs. The big issue, whether on the national or the local level with health care, is cost reduction. It's too expensive. And the Republicans have taken, and historically have taken, a more market-based cost reduction approach versus the Democrats who, here even in Illinois, think that the way to solve these problems is to increase government activity and intervention and increase your taxes, spend more money. So it's going to be, it's two very clear sides, and you're going to see Tuesday, there's some elections coming up in Virginia, New Jersey, and in New York. And I think you're going to see big Republican victories there, and you're going to see a repudiation of a lot of what we've seen in the last 10, 11 months.
Who do we have here in Illinois running for the Republican Party, and who are some of the candidates?
If you go down from the U.S. Senate, you have Mark Kirk, who'll be our nominee for Senate. He's very strong. He's a congressman in the 10th District. Very, very strong candidate. I anticipate we'll pick that seat up in the next cycle. We have 7 candidates for governor, and on down the line. So we have a very, very full slate. We anticipate we can pick up the governor's mansion, lieutenant governor, controller, and treasurer, and we think we can pick up 12 to 13 seats in the House and probably 4 or 5 in the Senate. So it should be a good year for Republicans.
Where are some of the places people can check out to find out more on the health care bill or the people running here?
weareillinois.org is our website. You can go there and check it out, or 312-201-9000,
okay,
and ask any questions you'd like. It's going to be an exciting time. It's a good time for democracy. It's a good time for the state of Illinois.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, it's an honor to be here on your on this show, and have me back sometime. Glad to come.
We're so glad to have you here on our first show. So once again.